Okay guys, a couple of you have asked for a video on how to update your Tribunus. I have this brand new ESC here, rigged up, ready to be updated. Master goes to the ESC, slave goes to the RPM port, and then your PC, I have an extension here which gets hooked up to the V-Link 2 programmer with the diode. It's got to have this diode. Alright, but first things first, the reason why we're updating this is because there's a new V-bar coming out, or a new protocol, new firmware, whatever. I'm not exactly sure. So the reason why we're updating this right now is because Vcontrol has some new firmware, and we have to make sure they talk to each other. So right now I have my Vcontrol turned on. I have it connected to the computer via the USB port, and then what I need to do is launch the V-bar control manager, and I've already logged on to the V-bar site, so it should update. Updating Scorpion program. So it looks like everything has been updated, like my Vcontrol has been updated. I'm going to click applications just to see. Alright, so anyways, it looks like everything's good there. So I am going to disconnect the Vcontrol now that the Vcontrol is updated. Alright, next, let's see if I can position this phone here. I have some sketchy wiring going on and a piece of Scotch tape. I am going to power up the ESC and the Neo. Alright, so this is a complete new setup on the Neo. I haven't adjusted anything yet, etc. It doesn't matter really. Everything's connected as it should be. The only thing that is not connected is the V-Link to the Scorpion Tribunus 200. So I am going to launch the Sproto platform. It says it's updating. What you want to do is make sure that you are logged in. As you can see, I am logged in right here. If you are not logged in, you're not going to receive the latest update. Click Tools, scroll down, check Updates. And you might have to do that a couple times. I did initially to get the latest update. Alright, so now we are there. You want to go over here, click Scorpion Power System, and Tribunus ESC Configurator, which should bring this screen up. Once this screen is up, you are then supposed to connect. Hold on a second, please. It's hard to do this. Oh. Make sure you got black to black, yellow to yellow. So at this time, I am going to connect the V-Link to the ESC. I am now connected. Alright. At that point, the next step is to press the connect to device. Alright, as you can see, it said new firmware available. This firmware on this ESC is version 54. I am connected. You can see the serial number, etc. Alright, if you're updating a ESC that you have already changed a bunch of settings in, etc., then you need to make sure that none of your settings, you need to write down all your settings, because this update will erase all your settings and revert back to like a stock setup. So you would want to click on heli and write all your settings down here if you're using the Scorpion Gov. Alright. Also, you want to make sure the direction of your motor, the PID, you might be using V-bar Gov, etc. All that stuff's going to get wiped out. Alright, so anyways, after you make note of all your settings, you go over here to firmware list. And if you got the latest update, you would have firmware V58, version 58 available. So then all you do is click load. And as you can see, it is updating. Alright. If you had a motor connected, it would have made a couple beeps to tell you that the ESC was resetting itself. So the ESC reset itself, everything's connected again. I am now running version 58. Alright, so then you want to go back to your main menu. If you're using VGov, go down the VBAR PID. I'm not. I prefer the Scorpion Gov. Go over to your heli menu. I like fast startup, medium everything else. I don't use bailout, but I leave it at that. So then I click default. I like the medium settings, again, the medium gains. Once you changed all your settings back to where you want, I prefer 7.1 volt Beck voltage. That's what's recommended by George. After you get all your settings back to the way you want them, you click save. Alright, and the ESC should reset itself again. Which apparently it did pretty quickly. I'm going to click that again just to make sure. Reset, connected. Yes, it did it very quickly. Alright, so after all that, all you do is you go over here, scroll up to the top left, and you scroll down here, and you press disconnect from device. Click yes. And everything is updated. Now I have the latest firmware on the Vcontrol to talk to the latest, or I have the latest firmware on the Scorpion to talk to the latest firmware on the Vcontrol. Hopefully we get a cool new Neo or whatnot from Mikado. I would like to see a mini Neo for my 380. That would be nice. Or whatever else you got. I'm sure it's cool as hell. So anyways, that's how you do it. Very simple. After that, you can go ahead and disconnect your power source. You're all done. Easy as pie. It's great ESC.